Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Paper Mario. I am Mega400. Oh, I'm getting a little bit tired because of all talking and everything. So, last time we got the Star Stone from Madame Merlar, and now we can head onward to the Crystal Palace. And yeah, this song I didn't really even talk much in depth about, but this is a really, there's some really good songs from... Shiver City has some okay songs, but when you get from this point onward to the rest of the chapters, really good music. It's really... not really action-packed, but really, really nice sounding music. I really like some of the music in this chapter too. I mean, overall, this whole game has really great music, and the more I played this game, the more I get to the opinion that at first I was really in the opinion that this TTYD was a much better game than Paper Mario. But the more I think about it, the more I think that this game is better than Paper Mario or TTYD, because Paper Mario did improve upon some things. And their story and characters are definitely much better, but the artistic style of this game, I mean, this game is definitely more artistic in my opinion, because than TTYD. TTYD looks more, clean and more, clean, more, new age, it looks graphically better in terms of the stuff, but this game actually looks more artistic, looks more detailed, not just because of the style, I like the painted style. I mean, I really do. I really like some of the painted style that they have. So it's got that going for it. The music is definitely much better. Some of the gameplay, just just a lot of the characters, a lot of the scenery. Overall, I just say, while TTYD does do some things better, Paper Mario I have to say this game is just overall just better because it just came first and it just did things right. And TTYD, of course, it basically just kind of almost copied a lot of the things it did and just improved upon it. That's not to say that TTYD is a bad game, but again, the more I think about it, this game is definitely much better. And this again is more another example of how opinions change. I mean, my opinion before playing this game again was TTYD was a better game, and now I think that this game is better than TTYD. So changing is good. Red X, we can't do anything with that right now. So let's continue onward. And we have swoopers, but they're not swoopers, they're swoopulas. I love that name, swoopula. Mega Quake will take easy work, or make easy work of these guys. I have another. This kind of piggybacks from last episode's rant, but not really. I saw, actually just before I was recording this stuff, I saw an article that Roger Ebert had written. If you don't know who wrote is in a word, if you haven't if you don't know who Roger Ebert is, why are you living under a rock? But he, of course, is a film critic. And the article he wrote was that video games aren't art. It was about why video games aren't art, and most of it was just criticizing someone else, or picking apart someone else's reason for why video games are art. And I have to say, the person who was defending video games really did a horrible job at it, personally. She used horrible examples, and just... it was like one of those people who do the whole new age, modern art type thing. Those kind of people. So I didn't like how they were doing that. But anyway, here's the thing about Roger Ebert's opinion. First of all, it seems like he was really fixated on the fact that thinking of video games as games, as in you win, you lose. I mean, maybe in the past, video games were games, like in the age of like Donkey Kong or stuff, and there are, competitive games still, but they aren't the only games. And he was like comparing it to basketball, and or in chess. I don't consider video games in the same mode as chess. I consider them personally in terms of on the same mode as movies. Now, whether or not you consider them art or not, that doesn't necessarily mean, just because I consider it the same thing as movies doesn't mean necessarily that I consider it art. Now, in some instances, I do consider it art, and I'll get into that. But, oh, look, I killed them by just looking at them. Cool. Yeah, we discovered that this Crystal Palace, this isn't a mirror, this is just another area that we can access. I really do like the Crystal Palace. It's got some great music, just great scenery overall, and it's just a fun, interesting, puzzle-oriented area. But he seemed very fixated on the fact that he was comparing video games to basketball and stuff, and that you had to win or lose. And again, it seems like Paper Mario, like in terms of at least RPGs, for example, this game doesn't really. Does this seem like it's a win or lose type thing? I mean, I honestly think this is more. It has a story, it's a narrative. It has maybe not necessarily a good narrative, but it has a narrative. I mean, I think like TTYD, for example, in terms of narratives, narrative. You know, there's artistic parts to it. I mean, as a whole, do you consider it, you know, art? I mean, honestly, I would. Here's why. Because first off, in terms of parts, each part is art. I mean, you have the artistic part of the design. If you don't consider the design of this art, then you don't consider any graphic design art. And I honestly, really, that would just basically, you're saying that my whole career I'm going into is just wrong. That I'm not becoming an artist. I'm being, I don't know. I think computer art is art. Now you could disagree with that, but I don't even know how it has art in the name. But yeah, anyway, that the graphical looks of it, you have to have design in that. That's art, in my opinion. The music is art, so the music for the game is art. I mean, really, if you think about it in terms of movies have the design of different things and parts of movies. That's art. You have the music. That's art. You have the character development. In some games, it's better than others. That is also art. What exactly isn't artistic about it? And I think. No, first let's talk. There are tons of bombettes. What exactly isn't artistic about games? And I think the problem is they keep fixating on the interactivity. Really, I mean, here's the thing: it doesn't matter how primitive it is. You could say the stories are very primitive, but that doesn't matter how primitive it is. It's still a story. It's still, if you get rid of the interactivity, honestly, of this game, of like Paper Mario, for example, it's no different than a movie. It could be a bad movie, perhaps, but it's still no different than a movie because it's got a narrative, it's got, you know, graphics. Okay, so just get rid of all the control, and it's, you know, you got essentially a very basic movie, in my opinion. You could alter that, and it's not 100% accurate, but okay. So then you get into the interactivity part. And because of that, for some reason, that makes it not art. And I don't see how being interactive and being able to play it doesn't make it art. I mean, first of all, I love this when you try to walk through, they all pick you up. And if you want to fight the Doppelghosts, which I didn't want to talk about, Doppelghosts are basically, they're like Lee from the dojo. They can change to your partners. That's basically what Doppelghosts do. And yeah, defeat them again. If you want to fight them, you have to attack the real person if you want to fight these guys. If not, then just attack all the fake ones. But anyway, somehow by adding interactivity, they're not art. And the thing is, aren't movies not only art, but aren't they also entertainment? I mean, would I argue? I guess football isn't art because you could make an argument that football is art, but football is not primarily art because its main focus is to be competitive. Games, you could make the argument that games aren't primarily art. Their main purpose is to be, you know, played and just, you know, to play through them. You could make an argument in that, but I argue that games could be art. They don't necessarily have to be art, and they're not necessarily are art, but they can be art. And that's, I think, the main thing is, I don't see how you cannot see artistic things, and it's, I mean, my view of art is, you know, different elements, you know, the people who put work into this, in creating it, just creating things. You can make an argument that a chair is art, and I don't see how you can't make an argument that video games aren't art. I mean, you play a game like Mother 3, and not only is it fun to play and enjoyable to play, but you also get some really profound things from playing that game. And you can't tell me that, if your definition is you get profound thought from it, you can't tell me that game is not art. Now, at the same time, games are primarily entertainment. I mean, that's, I don't know, I'm not really getting to enough point, I don't think. But, yeah, anyway, blow up that wall, you'll get another, the triple dip patch here, which is like the double dip, but allows you to do, use items 3 times as opposed to 2. But, yeah, I guess in conclusion, and again, I sometimes feel like I don't have enough time to discuss all I want to discuss in terms of rants, but I guess in conclusion, it's just I think games can be art. I think that saying that they aren't is a very narrow definition, and you need to be more open-minded in general. But I do respect Roger Ebert and his opinion. But that's all the time I have. This has been Mega 400 reminding you to go buy some chicken right now.